Hello, my name is Paul Sanchez, and I'm the lead yoga teacher, trainer, and spiritual advisor with BeYogaFit.nyc, on location in the Peruvian Amazon, joined by fellow yogi, teacher, and shaman in training, Peter Myhailovsky, who also goes by the nickname of Prana. Prana, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Nice having you.
Yeah, I think it's really great that we managed to come together. Why don't you tell us and everyone listening a little bit more about yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Peter. Call me Prana. Born in Austria. I'm from Slovenia. I'm a Bhakti Yoga practitioner for the last 20-something years. And for the last 7 or 8 years, I also developed an interest in shamanic practices of South America, and currently residing in Peru.
That's great, yeah. And it's actually that, specifically, that brought us together, right, Peter? Prana. I came and I arrived in Iquitos on April 1st to delve deeper into my own healing studies and practice through ancient ceremonial teachings with plant medicine. And Prana's path and mine coincided and crossed, and as it turns out, he is very wise and experienced in these matters, and even has a gift for music and working with sound. And so here we have today the topic of our podcast, which is sound and ceremony, the power of vibration. And so, Peter, why don't you tell us a little bit more about the power of vibration through your experience with Bhakti Yoga?
Bhakti Yoga, it's a yoga of devotion, and you're all familiar with mantras, kirtan and bhajans, sacred Vedas and their invocations. So at the age of 16, I read Bhagavad Gita, and that reawakened my divine consciousness.
And just for anyone who's listening, the Bhagavad Gita is kind of like the Hindu Bible. And so it's a big source for where a lot of ancient yoga rituals come from.
Translation is Bhagavad Gita means song of God.
Beautiful.
So the very important part of it is the sound vibration, the mantras. And I was specifically interested in transcendental mantras that reawaken and reestablish one's eternal relationship with God. In my case, I call them Krishna, which means all attractive. So the science behind it, I realized, okay, if I'm to realize the power of mantra, or the holy name of God, or Krishna, or Rama, or Allah, Jesus, any kind of a transcendental name of God, I have to apply myself to a process and accept what's favorable and what's not favorable, and give my 100%. So idea behind is that name, transcendental sound vibration, in transcendental nature, when you chant, when you sing, or you do private, internal meditation, for example in rosary beads, what we call japa or japamala, you will start to realize the purity, the transcendental power, the nature, the attributes of the name, which is identical with God. That gives absolute bliss, increases one's awareness, and balances you, which leads to our topic of well-being, being healthy.
Yes, absolutely. Through these sound vibrations, we can achieve that. And as a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why so many yoga teachers will end a yoga practice chanting the sound Om. Isn't it, Peter? Prana, forgive me. I'm still getting used to that. But it's the sound, it's that vibration, and there are so many, as Prana just mentioned, But Om tends to be one of the simplest ones that is associated with the sound of God or creation or the universe. And sometimes if you just give yourself a little time to be with that sound and vibration, you can start to become aware of something deeper or something more, as it were, behind the scenes.
There are many practical experiments made, if you're familiar with Kymatica.
Yes, one of my favorite movies. Yeah. Kymatica talks about vibrational energies and sound itself, and if you take, for example, a metal plate and send a certain frequency through it and vibrate that plate at that frequency, if you throw some sand on top of it, it will create different geometric patterns based on the frequency that's vibrating through the plate. So that sound itself has a physical transformative effect on reality and matter itself.
Higher the frequency, more complex the patterns appear.
Yes, exactly. And so that's also true in a sense for the names of God. Isn't that right, Prana? You were saying something about Bhakti Yoga and the different expressions of the names of God?
Mm-hmm. In the Vedic literature, there are numerous names for one divinity, and some are called primary names. You can call them primary or secondary names, according to the function. For example, secondary names would be like functions of God, like He's omnipotent, He's all-powerful, He's the creator, and all have a taste or awareness of omnipotency of God. And closer you dab in the Vedic scriptures, there's more revelation of more intimate, more personal names of God, such as Rama, Krishna. And these lead you to your very nature of your soul. And that's when you realize the sweetness, the bliss in your relationship through the sound vibration, through repeating the names, through the chants. Because all the dust, how they give an example, mind is like a mirror that's covered with dust. And more we chant, more we apply to our spiritual practices, or in India called sadhana, we clear the dust from the mind. And when we clear the dust from the mirror of the mind, then we see our own spiritual essence and our relationship with the absolute truth, or God. Mm-hmm. And it's all done through sound vibration, through balanced life, through proper eating, proper breathing, exercising, proper study, austerities of the mind, body, intelligence, and brings us to the mode of goodness. And mode of goodness is stepping stone to the pure goodness, which in Sanskrit it's called Shuddha Sattva, or transcendental goodness, and that is the nature of Brahman, of the absolute truth, and our own intrinsic nature.
That's inspiring. I got this image of a dusty mirror and a big bell or a gong nearby vibrating and shaking the dust off the mirror, just making it nice and clean so that we can see that innate nature shine through, clear as day. I wanted to also know a little bit and connect, because you have a wealth of information about yoga, but you also have this keen ability to expand into any area of truth and merit. And so, you're taking this this old knowledge, this ancient knowledge, and bringing it to something new and integrating it with this, South American tradition of healing with plant medicine and finding the unity between those two supposed maybe appearing the opposite forces. So how have the yoga teachings affected your journey with ceremonies and plant medicine?
I was introduced to plant medicines when I lived in England, in Glastonbury. So I went to one particular ceremony with plant medicine. They have such a great variety of plant medicines. Some are psychoactive, some are not. I took a keen interest due to my transcendental search into psychoactive medicines. So, and I got a lot of information, a lot of insights of this world plane, because I was always so much interested in transcending it, going out of the body, transcending. But with the shamanic approach that was new to me, I got to know more about my own body and more about the middle earth, so to speak, not just transcendence, but on this middle plane that we reside right now, on the Mother Earth. Now, due to my background of practice, again, what helped it, the centering of one consciousness on the heart and on the breath. So then you have a control of your journey. And now what also intrigued me was that in shamanic practices they use a lot of singing, a lot of chants, a lot of these different melodies. And I learned that they're called ikaros. Those songs are called ikaros. And the apprentices, the shamans, when they go into seclusion and they do different diets, they don't eat salt or sugar, no spices, and they drink different remedies. Sometimes they take a sap from the tree, sometimes they take a bark and soak it in water, and they drink that once a day. And they're not psychoactive in itself. They all have just pure healing propensities for the body and for the mind. And then they would just listen, be in seclusion, and try to hear the spirits of those trees. And they would make a connection because they had ingested their blood of a tree, the sap. And the spirits of the trees would correspond, and they would teach them, either in daydreaming, in lucid dreaming. They would come and they would receive these songs, healing songs, that they can use then during their healing ceremonies for other people. So I had a good fortune. I was here a couple of years ago, and I spent with one maestro here in Peru for about 4 months living in the jungle, doing the diet. And so far I have learned his songs that he received from the trees and from his teacher. And I'm back here now in hope of receiving my own songs for healing. And in my experience with working with these medicines, and as I said, some are psychoactive and brings you to a subtle or a high level of existence or more high dimensional existence. And then you can see how the sound, the power of the sound, has the ability to move or to change the subtle energy around you. So as you sing the healing sounds, the tapestry within your third eye, within your vision, will correspond to one's sound vibration.
Yeah, that's profoundly beautiful. And just to jump off of one of your earlier points from that response, to focus on the breath, and center in the breath and let the sound come, listen while we breathe. The immense power that comes in that. And whether you're a yogi, whether you're a shaman, if you're human, we have so much to learn just by breathing, being still, and listening. And from that place, then we can, learn better to master how to generate vibration and energy consciously and fully intentionally. To that end, Prana, if you would indulge us all, I know that there's a song that you have. It's not an original of yours, if I'm correct. It's one that you've learned from Adrian Friedman, who's a poet and songwriter from the UK.
Yes.
But it's really quite beautiful. I've heard you sing it in ceremony many times, and whenever we were in ceremony, I could personally feel the power of those vibrations, and I'm sure that our listeners would be able to hear them too. If you would honor us by singing that song here for us today.
My pleasure. We come to this world and stay for this short time. Together we blossom like flowers. Each has their own place to work in this garden. Together we shine in the light we receive from this power. We come to this world and stay for this short time. Together we blossom like flowers. Each has their own place to work in this garden. Together we shine in the light we receive from this power. I pray to the eternal heart of the universe, give me light, illuminate my soul. I pray to the eternal heart of the universe, give me light, illuminate my soul. I pray to the eternal heart of the universe, give me light, illuminate my soul. I give thanks to the sun, I give thanks to the moon, my mother and father above. I give thanks to this garden, I give thanks to this hummingbird in eternal garden of love. I give thanks to the sun, I give thanks to the moon, my mother and father above. I give thanks to this garden, I give thanks to this hummingbird in eternal garden of love. I pray to the eternal heart of the universe, give me light, illuminate my soul. I pray to the eternal heart of the universe, give me light, illuminate my soul. I pray to the eternal heart of the universe, give me light, illuminate my soul.
I have goosebumps. It's touching. Thank you so much, Prana, for sharing your beautiful voice and your beautiful song.
My pleasure, most welcome.
And your beautiful energy. So thank you, everyone, for listening to this podcast, the latest Peru edition, Sound and Ceremony, the Power of Vibration. And feel free to like and comment on this podcast. We'll be spreading further podcasts for healing, enlightenment, and further development of spirit. And I look forward to hearing your comments and interactions. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.